Welcome to this transmission. We are Elohim, and we have much to say to humanity with the sense of urgency. For this time panel in which you find yourselves calls forth several messages. It calls forth the integration of many codes. We desire to offer these things to humanity for their greater good. We desire to offer these things at this time juncture, for the timing does make a difference. Timing always makes a difference. Despite the fact that linear time only exists on Earth, the meeting of two dimensions at a certain point is more how we see the significance of the specific times that we come to you. And when we come to you at certain times, it is because of the overlap of our dimension with your dimension. We are somewhat somber at this moment, for the attitude with which we desire to impart this information is an attitude of reverence. An attitude of reverence for the many who have put forth efforts to maintain, to distribute, to grid with the knowledge which we are about to give. We do not wish to take lightly their sacrifices. We do not wish to take lightly the time and the work that they have dedicated to the betterment of all, through their efforts on many dimensions and in many existences, in order to offer this knowledge to others. So we provide this transmission in honor of those who have carried this knowledge within, and who have constantly stayed faithful to their mission to distribute this knowledge. We begin by asking you to paint a picture in your mind of a sun radiating its warmth upon the galaxy in which it is located. Any sun will suffice, for all suns are connected to the great central sun and convey the same pattern as it does. For our purposes today, you may dwell on whichever sun comes to mind, for there are many suns in many galaxies. These are, again, all connected to the great central sun and source of all life. Now, bringing your attention to this sun in your mind, we ask you to connect to the truths which it conveys. We ask you to specifically connect to the sacred geometry which we wish to impart to you through your visualization of this sun. We ask you to focus first on the simple shape of a triangle. You may see in your mind's eye the all-seeing eye inside a triangle, and we wish to encourage you to dwell on that image. For that eye is the gatekeeper, the doorway which we will unlock for you. It is a symbol of entrance to a new knowledge that will be distributed to all humanity. It will be given freely, yet will only be accessed by those with which it resonates. It will be conveyed as a confusion to those for whom it is not meant, and it will be conveyed as a clear and concise, gridded message to those for whom it is intended. Much of what we desire to offer you, again, cannot be done through human language and words, nor through sound vibration, nor through light language. What we wish to provide in order to expand your knowledge, in order to introduce you to the mysteries of God, comes through shapes and colors, which you will see and receive in many different ways. Some will be included in this video as images. Some will be given to you in your everyday life. We simply ask you to be prepared and observant first and foremost. Secondly, we ask you to record what you receive and to pass the knowledge on. For many, many eons, this knowledge has been guarded for the safety of those who hold it. And we are finally coming to an era where fear will no longer reign, where the knowledge that was once concealed will be brought to light, out in the open. We desire for there to be a banquet table for humanity from which they can feast upon the mysteries of God, and therefore we are enlisting as many as are willing to help. The main channels for conveying the information will be your human system of the internet and social media, as well as video and audio material. The more who participate, the greater the momentum which will be built, and the more full the banquet table will be. Do not for one moment think that your contribution is not needed. It is a falsehood that there is already a plethora of content on these subjects, and there is no need for more. We say to you that your output is desired, not simply for its physical existence, but also for its energetic presence, which will permeate the Earth's planes, both physical and ethereal. This knowledge is no longer for a select few. This knowledge is for all. It is time for all to feast, and we ask those of you who are listening or reading to be the preparers of the banquet. We now shift to a different topic. We are sending you gridding, sending you the symbols that you need at this time. For the doors are open, the windows are open for you to receive. You need only place your focus on these doors and windows in order for you to recognize what is being poured through them, and what is coming through in a quantity that has never occurred before, in order to assist this planet in this shift. We ask you to ponder on the tools and resources at your disposal, which we have provided inside and outside of you, in order for this transition to be more comfortable for you. We understand the feeling of tumult which currently pervades the situation. Yet we ask you, specifically you who are reading or listening to this, to access a higher vibration in order to maintain the space and energy frequency that needs to be maintained on the planet at this time. In order to maintain the energy frequency which comes more naturally to you. We refer to the energy frequency which you are programmed to receive, to know, and to understand. We ask you to put your mind on things which you inherently know, to close your eyes and to visualize the symbols of eternity which are placed before your view, which allow you to access in a very rapid way the knowledge, light, and wisdom which we desire to bestow upon you. For human language has its limitations, and visual downloads are one of the most prevalent ways by which we share information with you through your third eye. We ask you to pay closer attention to your dream state, to seek for more knowledge to come to you in your dreams, to expand you, to prepare you, to help you to grid when the time comes, and to help you to know which locations we would like you to visit and which have been predetermined for you personally. Locations that align with your energy signature. We ask you also to breathe more, For in breath, you will find us. In breath, you will find the shift becomes easier. In breath, you will find a connection to the divine. You will find access to a flow of knowledge which you have never before known. We ask you to visit nature as frequently as possible. The symbols and the energy vibrations that dwell naturally there will flow to you with ease, more ease than when you are with man-made structures and devices, which take up the majority of your time. We ask you to be discerning with the music to which you listen, to the subtleties, to the intentions, to the programming, to the source of those vibrations. At this time, the divide between the 3D and the 5D and beyond is becoming wider, and you will slowly lose your attachment to all things 3D, particularly as it pertains to music, art, and trivialities that concern not those who are shifting. We ask you to pay attention to your inner compass, which can signal to you course correction when needed, and remind you of the Creator within, the divine oversoul of which you are a part, that is truly guiding you. We remind you that your separation from this oversoul is simply an illusion, and that as you feel the need, we invite you to seek other soul aspects, to integrate the knowledge and light which they have obtained into your presence here. For as the expansion occurs, the light with which you came will be permitted to be upgraded. The energy limits have been increased, and there is an allowance for a greater presence of your soul aspects, particularly here on Earth. We invite you to ponder on the fact that there are soul aspects of your oversoul which have been living out other realities and other incarnations, and which have been prepared with the frequencies that you need at this time on this planet, and are simply waiting for your consent to enter and to integrate into your physical incarnation. Let us say that they are ready to connect to your physical being, for the understanding which many have is that the soul aspects are inside the 3D body, and they actually reside inside, through, and outside the body. Nonetheless, we encourage you to use the visual image which speaks to you, for that is but a trivial matter in referring to this incorporation of more soul aspects. In doing so, we shall lay out a technique that may facilitate this integration to which we refer. The technique involves the use of color as a visual guide. As you come into a meditation, you may close your eyes and ask for the message in the form of a color to be sent to you. When that color appears in your mind's eye, understand that it is the vibratory signature of a certain soul aspect. You may then continue by allowing that color to integrate into you, starting from head to toe, just like a body scan. This can be done multiple times if needed, for the spectrum of colors which is being permitted on this planet at this time, or which are able to be sustained on this planet at this time, is being amplified. Therefore, the spectrum of colors with which you arrived can be expanded by the addition of other soul aspects. The subject we would now like to speak about is expansion. We would like to elaborate on this terminology and on this concept, which at this moment in time is very crucial for you to comprehend. At times, It is more important for you to understand broader concepts than it is for you to understand the intricacies. We invite you to expand your mind, even as we speak of expansion. When receiving information regarding subjects that are very broad, you must shift your perspective from this microcosm of the earth to a greater perspective, a macro perspective, which allows you to see the bigger picture, or at least a bigger picture. For as you know, the picture grows larger and larger, and the perspective can continually expand ad infinitum. This concept of the perspective growing is the first topic on which we would like to elaborate. Perspective is a very important aspect of the movement and the shift that many of you are experiencing. As you know, you create your own reality, and therefore, as you expand your perspective, your reality changes. Those of you who are desiring to shift with the new earth as she leaves her old body, we would like to invite you to shift what you see, to shift what your eyes observe. Again, we invite you to do this. We do not command you to do this. We honor your free will. For some of you desire to stay in the 3D, desire to stay in a different vibration. We say lower vibration, but we do not want you to feel as if this lower vibration is somehow a lesser vibration. There is a need for all vibrations. However, some of you feel called, possibly by your higher self and or by contracts, to move with the new earth and accept this different perspective. Again, we invite you to consider changing and expanding your perspective. We would like to give you some instruction on how that can be done, if that is what you are seeking. Expansion within is the key to expanding without. Expansion within is limitless. Expansion without can be tied to the collective expansion, and therefore it can reflect an illusion of limitation. Expansion within is more accessible and also more influential to your overall well-being, to your overall perception of the world. We invite you to seek out tones, sounds, and wave frequencies in the form of music, colors, and smells that will assist you to go within. We wish to explain to you that going within does not require you to go into a dark room with your eyes closed and block out all stimuli. Going within can be done in your everyday life. Living from within can be done in your everyday life. It is an illusion that meditation can only be done one way. And we say meditation to utilize your human terminology as a synonym for going within. The teaching and examples of many of the wise masters who were able to easily access this inner portal of expansion were interpreted in a one-dimensional way, when what they taught and did should be seen in a multi-dimensional way. The aspects and the physicality of their meditation was reflected as a one-dimensional performance. We wish to express to you that going within can be done in a multi-dimensional way and is unique to each person. The keys that unlock your inner portals are unique to you and were given to you before you arrived on this planet. They are based on the skill sets you possess in order to make it as easy as possible for you to access this inner portal to expansion For that reason, we recommend you choose the keys that resonate most with you. Some examples of these keys are music. Some will enter the inner portal by creating and listening to different kinds of music. Nature. Others will do so by physically locating themselves in nature. This allows them to connect with vibrations which will assist them in unlocking the inner portal. Nature exudes vibrations through colors, smells, and sounds, and is a very multidimensional tool for access. Isolation. There are those of you who, indeed, will desire a feeling of isolation, a feeling of quiet calmness, almost like being in a womb, in order to access your portal. This would be more similar to a traditional meditation. We do not discourage you from doing this if you feel called to do so. It will be beneficial to you to contemplate and receive information from your guides concerning the particular keys that will work best to open your inner portal. Some may come naturally to you, and others may not have occurred to you up until this point. Be open to spirit as you ponder this topic. There may also be specific keywords, specific places, and specific songs that help you to access the portal with more ease. As time progresses and as you undergo this process more frequently, you will be able to enter more rapidly. As you enter the inner world, there are many places you can go. There are many choices you have as you enter the door. You may notice that you are drawn to different areas at first. You may be distracted. You may feel like you need to explore. We ask you and invite you to prepare as you enter, to focus as you enter, that you may not be distracted, that you may be able to pinpoint where you are needed, the place that is for your greatest and highest good. That again, you may not get lost in habits which take you to places of contraction rather than expansion. However, we honor your free will at all times. We do not judge. We do not dwell on so-called right and wrong. However, we do acknowledge and would like to bring your attention to the fact that there are places in your inner world which engender expansion and places which engender contraction. One of the reasons we would like to encourage those who are called to expand to take the steps to do so is because we sense that you are longing for this action, for this part of the wave, for this part of the cycle, yet know not how to get there. We sense that many of you who are sensitive are caught in a contraction. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Along with all the expansion that is occurring on the new earth, there is an equal and opposite contraction that is occurring on the old earth. Many feel entangled at the moment in the energy of contraction. We invite you to go within to consult with your higher self, to consult with wisdom, to consult with Source. We invite you to identify your role and the place to which you are called, so that as you choose your actions, emphasis on the importance of choice. And if you feel called to expansion, to identify how this is going to affect you as part of the new earth, as part of the movement, as part of the shift. We invite you to do this in order for the manifestation of the world in which you would like to find yourself to occur. If you cannot go within the expansion energy and see yourself thriving in a higher vibration, in light, then it will be much more difficult. Nay, it will be nearly impossible for you to move in the shift. Therefore, we ask you to access the inner expansive world, to visualize, as you would say in your terminology, to put your thought energy towards the world with which you would like to expand, not the world of contraction in which others find themselves, but the world of expansion where you desire to be. As you grasp this vision, as you spend time in it within, it shall manifest without. You will begin to access and be drawn towards a collective energy of expansion, and begin to separate from the collective energy of contraction. The separation, the independence of the expansion energy will become more pronounced. Again, we wish to show you compassion, for many of you feel a sense of division within, almost as if you are being torn apart, because you are experiencing both energies at the same time. We say to you, this need not be. We say to you, you need not sacrifice yourself. You need not be torn apart. We say to you, you may choose. There need not be sorrow in choice. There need not be sorrow in division. For in division, you will find unity. In division, you will find source. For the division, as you call it, is merely an illusion. At this time, we will not explore that subject, but may present it later on. Your linear thinking prevents you from noticing the unity in the shift. The circle, the cycle, the wave, the two become one. Your linear thinking, your concept of past and present, your concept of new and old is an illusion. Your concept of life and death, your concept of high and low, your concept of near and far, your concept of us and them, this is all illusion. You go within to expand. You enter the portal of expansion, and as you expand, you also contract. You embrace both. We are Elohim, and so it is. We are Elohim, and so it is. We are Elohim, and so it is.